What's up, guys? So this is going to be kind of a quick one, but just want to kind of give you guys an idea of how we usually do inline hydraulic handbrake setups on 350Zs, G35s. It's pretty simple. Kind of sucks because you delete the ABS, which is nice for drifting, but by doing that on the 350, you lose speedometer reading. Not a huge deal. I kind of like sliding without the speedometer. But anyway, get into this and you guys can see how we set it up on basically stock Z. Looks nice and simple, looks good. You can keep full interior, and yeah, check it out. Okay, so I already got kind of started here, but I wanted to show you guys basically for 350Z setting up an inline hydraulic handbrake. This is kind of the simplest way. This is how we've always done it. Haven't had any issues with it. So what you're going to do is you need to delete the factory ABS module down here. So all we're doing is running a brake line T. This is M10 by 1.0 thread pitch inverted flare. So you're going to go off of the front line on the master cylinder. That's for the front brakes. You're going to follow that up. That'll run into, you'll put that in the bottom of the T. It comes off of this port on the ABS module. And then if you look on top here, it's labeled front left, rear right, rear left, front right. So you're going to take the front right and the front left and put them in the sides of the T. So that basically reconnects all of your front braking system. Now it's going to be manual, no more ABS, anything to trip out and mess with the computer or traction control. Don't have to worry about that. So next what we're going to do, we're going to unhook the two rear lines. They'll run into the sides of a T, kind of like this, but instead of the line going straight back to the master, we're going to come off of this T and go to the master cylinder inside the car on the hydraulic handbrake, and then we'll take the rear line off of the master cylinder here and we'll run another -3 line inside to the handbrake. So that'll basically reconnect our rear braking system. So it'll go from the master cylinder inside to the handbrake master cylinder, and from that master cylinder back out into these two ports that are running to the back of the car. Super simple, easy to set up. Just have to make sure you have the right lines and fittings. And yeah, so I'm going to do that now, and I'll show you guys once I get that all together. Okay, so now that we have the ABS module deleted and bolted, there's 3 bolts you have to get from inside the wheel well. They are under the fender liner if you still have it, so you have to pull that out. Then we've got these 2 lines teed together with the bottom still open so we can run a line inside. You drilled a hole in the firewall just above the main, I guess, chassis harness grommet going in. There's nothing on the backside here, so you don't have to worry about running into anything inside. So we drilled one. We'll probably drill a second one next to it to run our 2 lines through, and we'll put grommets in there to keep them nice and secure so they don't chafe or anything. So yeah, I'm going to run those lines, and then I'll show you what we have to do inside the car. Sorry, you'll have to kind of ignore the fan in the background. It's pretty warm out today, so got it blowing on me. But inside, you're going to pull center console and the shifter trim bezel with the climate control and everything. And what we need to do is figure out exactly where we can sit the handbrake base. What we usually end up having to do in a 350 is we'll knock this corner down a little bit to create a nice flat spot so the handle can come up just in front of all of the climate control, come through the bezel, give it a nice clean look. You can still keep your interior, and you don't have any kind of weird tilt on the base itself. Gives it a more level area to sit in. And then with this one, we're actually going to weld the base to the tunnel. Usually we do a reinforcement plate, but the 350s have a pretty stout tunnel. So I'm just going to do the regular base, and we'll do some stitch welds around it, and it should be good. I'm actually missing one of the fittings for the brake lines. Didn't get sent with the line kit, so I got to pick that up in the morning. But we'll get everything else set and done, and then tomorrow we can bleed the brakes, make sure everything's hooked up properly, and yeah. Okay, so as you can see, we've got grommets in the firewall, both of our lines coming out. One goes down to the master cylinder right there. The other one comes over to junction block. We've got the front brakes teed off, so they're all in line and hooked up now. The ABS is all deleted. This is the line coming off the hydro that splits to the rear brake lines for these two. And yeah, pretty simple. Not sure how much you'll be able to see in here, but under the dash we have the lines routed up out of the way of any kind of moving parts or anything like that. They come down into the center console area and into the master cylinder in the back there. And then yeah, straight to the hydro. So now, good to go. Alright guys, that's about it for this. I know it was a short one, but you know, I've been pretty busy at the shop, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to film stuff and keep up with what we're doing. But hopefully get a little bit, you know, a little bit of time in between projects, and we can kind of film a little bit more and put a little more online. Got some drift events coming up. Now that some places are finally starting to open back up. So yeah, should be cool. If you liked it, you know, hit like, subscribe. Really appreciate it. Try and get more videos out for you guys, more informational, more fun stuff. And yeah, have a good day, guys.